there. Today I'm going to talk about nature of anxiety and how to transmute anxiety into magic and also pleasure. Okay, like really basically orgasmic erotic pleasure inside of your body instead of, well, glitchy disturbance. Because what I'm about to explain to you is not really taught in schools, maybe in some alchemical, mystical or tantric schools, but general like overview of life is not really understood, and then anxiety gets medicated, it gets bypassed, it gets like a battle on anxiety. And this is just because people don't see how it functions and what is the nature of human operating system, and then they fail to actually harmonize and extract the magic. And even you can choose states of sublime peace or pleasure working with this force that is labeled and branded anxiety. Now we're going to rebrand it, first of all. So if you ever had anxiety, well, you're a human being probably if you're watching a YouTube video, so you must have had anxiety. So what is it? What is inside? It's a feeling of restlessness, something. And then you might have found your own way to deal with it. Like you go running or you do yoga or something, breathwork, and then that's fine. Now, at the core of this issue is, first of all, you need to understand you as a being, your consciousness, and then you have a physical body, and through physical body runs energy. And this energy runs in different types of excitements. And these excitements, the purpose of these different excitements is to excite your body into animation, into action, and then realize and experience. So without this excitement, we wouldn't move or talk or even think or desire, for that matter. But the nature also of your human vehicle and operating system is that you have the conscious screen where you can have, well, it's best to do one thing at a time, focus on one thing at a time, but you might have a lot of voices, like mind chatter, and then some of these voices might seem to be opposing one another, or there might be 6 of them and they're all trying to pull in their own direction. So now you have your anxiety, or it is an unconscious stream of these excitements that you don't even know consciously what they are, but they are giving you a feeling of restlessness in the body, and you can't even bring them into the conscious screen to express their momentum, or you can't even bring them into embodiment so you can express their momentum. So now they're stuck. So now they're creating subconscious anxiety. You can have mind chatter, you can have subconscious in the physical body. It feels like emotional restlessness. Okay, so how to deal with this and transform it actually into manifestation, into actually the magic work. So bringing this energy into harmony and then projecting it in this uterus of space, and that becoming your realized reality without, physical linear work. This is what I call magic. People call it manifestation. It's basically summoning all of these excitements and then allowing them to harmonize and unify, and then they project, and then they become a realized reality, and you are then actually enormously potent as a magical creator, or just, how to say this, at the base level of reality, you are the space of creation and you are the awareness. And so these two emulate vibrations, space awareness vibrations. They build this reality on a subatomic level. Everything is made of this quantum vibration, and so is your energy, so is your anxiety. So when you know how to harness the force of this anxiety, then you can impregnate the space of reality with your projected desire or imagination, which then become molecularized or physicalized as a timeline of your experience, in which you can create up to a universe. Okay, so it's not like we talk about manifesting a car, manifesting a house. Bro, you can manifest a universe with enough concentration. If you're able to look at a point and then allow all of these anxieties to harness, and you have, I think when this happened, I had also like a play partner. So it's like literally going out of this molecular structure of a physical body, going to the archetypal structure where you become Shiva and Shakti, and you're like birthing universes. So, and it's all experienced with the same camera, same consciousness, but you are in the cave of Brahma, you are in the emptiness. So now I'm talking some ridiculous yoga shit. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But let's start with then harnessing and harmonizing the force of this anxiety. First of all, it's accepting. Like accepting that your operating system can be multitasking in your subconscious mind, and that there are different streams that are sometimes juxtaposed and like they're countering each other's intention. So if you want to go on the team like angels or the team demons, like you're just gonna be never actually unifying this polarity. And this is basically when, let's say, I wanna fight my anxiety, or I wanna assume a new purpose where I try to suppress my anxiety, or do something to it. You don't do by intention, because that's another excitement. You do by releasing the intention and shifting your perspective, and then I'm gonna build this up, because you have to stay in the middle, and it's about spatial awareness. And it is as simple as this. You may intuitively feel what I'm doing here. It is as simple as this. Once you learn this, you can be in the eye of the storm. And this literally means that I could be feeling whatever level of anxiety right now, and there are streams of energy in my operating system right now that I'm taking with perfect equanimity, and I'm not moved, because there is this center, this dantian or 0 point, where you know how to anchor yourself. You're not moved. And this also, then your anxiety could be projected as a timeline where there are people around you that are creating chaos. I mean literally chaos, that they are like throwing, like burning down your village and shooting guns and whatever. And when you know how to stay like this, it cannot affect you. Like any projection of anxiety or external chaos cannot affect you. And this is because your soul, let's say your soul, your individual reality construct, you have a womb of your own, you have a space of your own. And then if you find the center of that space, everything inside of that space harmonizes automatically. You don't have to do shit, and you are staying perfectly neutral, perfectly equanimous. And then like really there can be whatever happening. Now, whatever may be happening around you is a reflection of your psyche. And these excitements in your subconscious, if they're like cannot find an answer to something, like, hey, I want to build a business and make a lot of money, and I want to make it really nice, but I also don't want to like work, and I think maybe I want to go to a holiday first, and then, you know, I don't really feel like actually doing anything. So they're like these counterposed, like different excitements, and when you choose to write this out and ignore all of these other guys, you'll be just working, and you'll be building your stuff, but then the subconscious will oppose you, and even if you try to do it on the grind, it will ultimately, the subconscious will sabotage you. Now there's also an aligned action where you're doing that, but you pre-gathered all of these guys to project your intention of what you want to create, and then you don't have to build, and you have no internal dichotomy, you have no self-doubt, but you create something in the now, and then it is magically projected into your reality. So when your subconscious has these unharmonized intentions, they're going, trying to go here, so they're tripping over each other, you see, in the body that feels like restlessness. But now, this is also reflected that people around you are having debates, or people are having debates with you, because if you assume yourself to be this guy, then the people around you are going to tell you what this guy means, what this guy means, what this girl means, what this guy means, what this guy means, right? So if you assume yourself, you identify yourself with one excitement that is going against your other conscious or unconscious excitements, then, you know, you're like, hey, I'm gonna go to work, and somebody's gonna come, hey, come, let's chill. Your friend will go, come on, let's chill. Let's listen to some Bob Marley and smoke a doobie. And you'll be like, I have to go to work. Nah, fuck that. Fun, eh? So, okay, a little bit comic relief. But now you know what's going on. So where is the actual relief, and how to harness this, create excitement, manifestation, pleasure, equanimity, experience equanimity, or just not be fucking anxious. Well, first of all, we allow to be anxious, but without an intention. So I'm not trying to be anxious, but I'm not trying not to be anxious, because trying not to be anxious is just creating another excitement that is then trying to suppress these other guys, because they're already like in an anxious kind of like pretzel. Now this guy is suppressing them, now there's more anxiety. So however you fight it, you're creating more anxiety. Whatever you're trying to do, you're creating more. You actually want to do less. So you want to become intentional less. There are excitements in your body that are going to be, let's. So yeah. So people will tell you, okay, so yeah, do meditation, be mindful, or be intentional less. So that's like, I'm fine. But I'm going to tell you, this is really hard to do if you do not know one really simple thing. Spatial awareness of your 0 point. If you don't know how to find the center of your being and ground yourself into that center, wherever that might feel for you. Maybe it's here, 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 maybe it's everywhere. Maybe you can grab that center wherever that is and hold it with your fingers, and it becomes this mudra. And now you're not letting go of that point. Now you can become intentionless. Now I'm gonna build this up into how to actually create erotic pleasure from the anxiety. And it's just a filter also. So, see, now this is you first becoming equanimous. So you're becoming almost centered in your central point of being, that is let's call it the alpha and omega, and then I will explain what that means really quick. Every excitement that arises in your energy field, in your body, every excitement has a purpose. So it's like a little energy being. It's like a little Pokemon that arises and wants to animate your body into purpose, like, let me get this glass of water, and when this animation makes you alive to actually drink this water, it relaxes. Now you can have so many purposes. Now I'm rolling a cigarette, so this one is animating my body to roll a cigarette, smoke a cigarette, and then when I start smoking my cigarette, this one relaxes. So imagine how much different habitual or non-habitual little excitements go through your body daily in order for your puppet, your avatar, to be animated. And if they can all express their purpose, then they're all gonna relax eventually. We get anxiety mostly because some of them get stuck, and some of them have these counter purposes, or they're opposing, like, okay, let's go work, no, let's stay and chill. And then in the conscious they're being prompted, and in the body they're being prompted in the subconscious, and there is this decision-making process that you need to consciously choose, but you're kind of like getting stuck with this polarity. So the only place where you can like refine this is equanimity, or like, I don't really care whether I smoke a cigarette or don't smoke a cigarette, because either way, every excitement that's going to be animated into an action and manifestation is going to pass and then again come into emptiness. So from out of emptiness arises an animation and excitement, and then it returns back into stillness. So when I'm in the stillness, I'm recognizing these things are not so important. Whether I drink water or smoke a cigarette or, go to work, like, it's really just cosmetic, it's the animation of life, but I don't attach importance logical, because now logically, but it's really important for me to go to work, and then I'm just adding the chain of excitement into this like chain of thoughts, because if I don't go, because the clients, because then the check, and then the balance, and then the mortgage, and then the kids. No. See, that's panicking. In the dot, you see that even the excitement of your life, where you sprung out as this like little flower, and then you're like expressing your flowerness, you're going to actually dissolve this whole personality, this whole flower, and then only awareness will remain. Even in the course of 7 years, all these things that you are so anxious about, they're not going to even matter. Even tomorrow, the things that you had for breakfast today, or what you decided to do yesterday, it's not going to even matter. So it does not matter tomorrow, and today you're like dying of like, whether I do this or do that, and then adding more adding more chains of interpretation to either one of these. Like, let's do this, no, let's do that. It's going now we have a parliament, and they're like these like Democrats and what are the other Republicans, and they're all blah, 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 and then now you need to choose the freaking president, and it's all just too much. Because who even wants to listen to all of this noise? For real. What if there's a better way? I mean, how about you go to talk therapy, and then you start, let's say I'm your talk therapist, then you start telling me what this guy said, and then what this guy said, and then you're kind of like exhausting the energy of these like little guys. But it takes forever. It might take forever, depending on your energetic hygiene. Are you defragmenting your operating system, your RAM memory, or are you just adding excitements, but there's like in the subconscious unfulfilled, literally filling up your hard drive? And then somebody needs to go and sort out that shit. Okay, but Jovan, when does this become erotic experience inside of my body instead of like pretzel? Yes, I said we're gonna come to that, but I have to build up some basic understanding of your energetic architecture. So you come to the point of equanimity, and like all of a sudden the excitement, even that I wanted to like do this transmission and make this video, it's kind of already just being defragmented through yawning, and as I yawn, these excitements, they're leaving my body. Simple, like energy fact. Defragmentation. You're closing the tabs, or all of these open tabs, they're automatically defragmenting. Now you see, you can't do that from your mind, because if you try to battle your anxiety, you produce more excitements that then add more tabs, and it's just becoming like a pretzel. It's becoming a mess. Finding the point of equanimity, the tabs are now being automatically dismantled, and you can find yourself in a sublime state of chill. It's a little meditation trip, and if you want to achieve deeper states of meditation, this is the entry point. Because what you're not being told, I don't think even if you go to like Vipassana, like meditation retreat, they're going to tell you how to do it. You will need to feel all of these excitements in your body, and you need to resist them somehow. But these excitements, they want to complete their purpose, so it's like intense motions through your body, and it's hard to sit and not act on them, because they are trying to animate your body into movement. If you ever sit and meditate and there's a voice in your head, how about like smoking a cigarette? Come on. How about eating a sandwich? It's like a battle to resist their voice. But now I'm not saying resist any voice. I'm saying allow all of them to express without managing. Now what they're expressing maybe now more subtle movements that you feel in your body, like, okay, there's now relaxedness and there's energy. You want to find the most effortless way your body wants to, like a drunk puppet. Now whatever the body wants to do is defragmenting, and even if there are prompts in your mind, oh, let's do this, let's do that, it's becoming harder to even be bothered or actually get into animation to actually do that. So you're coming into a supreme state of relaxation, and from equanimity everything arises and it turns back to equanimity. So all of these energies, they will recycle themselves back into 0 point without you. So this is when you have surplus of energy that is creating a pretzel or anxiety. This is what you do. Now I said how to make it feel gasmic, and then how to utilize actually this energy to create a magical manifestation. So if you're staying with this part of transmission, we're gonna bring it down. We're gonna make it I'm gonna pace it down a little bit, because already 0 point centering brings me into a state where my own raw memory is being defragmented and I'm feeling like super drowsy. Right? So, first, gasm. Real easy, actually. Real easy. From the space of your nucleus, centeredness of your being, the 0 point, the 1 point from which everything emanates from and returns back into. Okay, this may be your higher heart, this may be your heart, this may be your dantian, this may be your third eye, whatever you feel, this may be here. You need to really inquire with this point, like, what is this alpha and omega? What does it mean? You can ask and intuitively say, is the entire cosmos potential contained in this point? And feel into that. It's pretty fascinating. So now you have your everything contained in a dot, and now you want to harness or invoke whatever the fuck you want from that dot, and I'm going to tell you to first harness for yourself a proper vibrational mood, and this will be realized on a quantum level. This is going to be realized. Now, first of all, let's bring you into this knowing. Let's invoke this knowing. So I want you to know for yourself and feel impregnated by this knowing that when you invoke, when you call from this dot, any potential that you describe with your words, it can, your body and your emotional body and your being, your whole setup here, your operating system, can come into this mood that you are invoking. So let's say you're invoking relaxedness and becoming more relaxed. You can just feel the vibration emanate on a subatomic level through your body, that just like without trying, without doing, with simply saying, okay, bring me into this, the center point of myself, bring my whole being into this feeling of just like, oh yeah, and you go and do that. So there are infinite moods, or maybe, you know, many that you can vibrationally invoke. And one of these is joy or being gasmic. Now there's also understanding and the feeling and knowing that you can invoke. So you can invoke a vision or intellectual understanding, answer to a question, or a vibrational mood into your body, into your emotional body. All of these are components of your operating system that you can now control with a single button. So I'm suggesting that you first invoke that you feel settled in this dot. So feeling that you are settled and anchored in this dot. Then I want you to invoke that that's a fuck yeah, that you can actually now work this dot into whatever state of being you desire instantly. So invoke this realization. So it's not just you intellectually or intuitively understand what I've said, but actually know, like get the knowing downloaded into your body. So you have an embodied knowing, which then is known, which then becomes your innate wisdom. So with that, we're gonna skip into if there are excitement still running through my operating system and they feel juxtaposed or pretzeled up, and it feels kind of like okay, because they're resisting one another, and then maybe mentally I'm resisting my anxiety or whatever. Can we experience them doing their dance, doing their war, but actually turn that war into a lovemaking? So it becomes like a subtle flirtation that you can now experience as gasmicness. And you can do this with your own imagination, with your own words, but the basic point here is that you are allowing these polar opposites to harmonize, and instead of, you know, beating each other up, they start to kind of like move together in a way that you, from now your Queen's point, in the way that you said you're going to experience. You're putting the filter on your self, the innermost self, that you say, I'm going to experience this in the mood of softness, in a mood of playful, curious, right? And as you say the mood, you're now mood boarding your song. And now you want to experience actually in the chaos there is harmony, but you're allowing that chaos to harmonize itself. And the way you interpret that song, that universe, you're interpreting it in a way of pleasure. Equanimity is no interpretation. But I'm actually allowing this to become gasmic or pleasurable or angry. It's because you said it's, or it's, so you're altering the mood. So this is conscious, how you work with the I am into the expression of your humanness. And you have complete control only from your equanimous point. So if you try to work it from the circumference, where you already have different energies that try to do different things, and then you try to work it from the intellectual perspective to solve it, you're going to get more pretzeled up in the circumference. You bring it back to basics, and then you say, alright, now what to do with this flow that now I'm superbly in tune with in whatever the mood I choose? Well, let's say I can now program that energy to become any kind of crystallized imagination that I want to become. And then when I use all of these pretzel up tabs, and they are now harmonizing, and I give them meaning, the energy, yes, the energy reprograms itself and becomes my crystallized reality that then I can impregnate this space of reality with. And from my 0 points up, I can also understand that this is how then the molecular timeline is created for me automatically. So that was just effortless and sexy, if you want it to be, or powerful if you want it to be, or both. And this is how you turn anxiety into. So, recap. First of all, accept that in your operating system there might be multitasking. Find groundedness, synchronous in your center point, in yourself. Allow this to harmonize. Then harness this energy, project your intention, and then come back into the omega and be just chill and be like, well, there's nothing to do now. And then when you also remain in the there's nothing to do now, then the timeline that you impregnated of what you have projected will just animate itself, and you will be effortless, and you're just like, oh, look at this. Oh yeah, this. So that's that.